Hey guys, welcome back to Game Sandwich. I'm John Hanson. That's Kayla. We're here to talk about Mario Kart, specifically Mario Kart World's top five tracks. It's been about a week since the game has been out, since the game and the console, the Nintendo Switch 2, have been out. We've played a ton of Mario Kart World in that. Um, but we've come away with some favorites. So, before we begin, we need you, the viewer, to go down into the comments below. Let us know which one of us has the better list. Who do you agree with most? And let us know what tracks we completely missed out, because there's some good ones in this game. I like. I don't know if I would call it the best collection of tracks in any Mario Kart yet, but it's very good.
Yeah, without a doubt. It has some good tracks. I would say best Nintendo soundtrack collection of music.
It absolutely, mm, actually, it it's a thing with like Super Smash Brothers Ultimate where it's kind of a cheat
Yeah. Yeah.
because I mean it's just a collection of just really great music to begin with
Yeah.
from like all these different sources. Um, but yeah, the music is top tier, absolutely. But without further ado, let's get started. Kevin, what's your number five track?
Number 5 track for me is one that combines stuff I love in the game like water and let's not forget Cheap Cheap. I'm going Cheap Cheap Falls here. If players want something that is visually stunning, look no further. Cheap Cheap Falls to me with the underwater parts. Um, yeah, like that's where things can get chaotic, especially if you're in a tight race. And the currents within the track make it seem like time is moving faster, and just higher stakes are always involved here. So for me, number 5, Cheap Cheap Falls.
Yes, that is a great inclusion. My number five though is a bit of a throwback in some ways. DK Spaceport.
Ooh.
Um, it's obviously a homage to the Kong game, and I absolutely love it. I love Donkey Kong throwing back while you race up it. It's just a completely different take that we have seen referenced so many times in past Nintendo games. And I think they did a brilliant job here. Like, it looks really cool. And I want to give a shout out to the DK robot that appears on the train at the end of
Yep.
Rainbow Road.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love that he's included in there. DK Spaceport is one that really stands out to me.
I couldn't agree more. And as we both are fans of Donkey Kong, I mean, more content the better. You just can't complain with it.
Yeah, for sure. Number four, Kev.
Number 4 for me, I am gonna take things. You know, it's summertime. People want to go outside, experience the beach, and what better place to go than Peach Beach? Let's not forget the immaculate resort vibes. You know, you want to go on a vacation, I suggest you go there. But be careful, there are cataquacks scattered about the beach. You might not want to bump into them. As a fan of Super Mario Sunshine, I just can't complain there with all the love it's been getting in this game. So, obstacles aside, you know, it's more of the expansive tracks here. And, you know, going across this resort, riding the walls, and like gliding, it combines all of the new aspects of Mario Kart World that I love. And again, just I like Cataquacks, man. They're one of my favorite enemies in Mario.
Yeah, Peach it didn't make my personal list, but it is. They did a great job of bringing this track back because it debuted in Double Dash back in the day, and I think they did a really good job, not just like revitalizing it and making it look prettier, but adding on to it.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing about it that kind of throws me off is they took out the pipe section, which
Yeah.
in the original Double Dash, it was completely pointless to ever take it because you had to like so at the beginning of the track you go and you turn right to go along the course, but if you turned left, you could go into a pipe and it would just like pop you into the air, so you could get a double item box and it would like put you behind everyone, obviously, because you were going off the beaten path. They took that out. I wish they would have just like turned that into something else,
Oh
like maybe
yeah.
the pipe would have like taken you to a different part of the track for you to go around, I think that would have been cool. But whatever, they added a new uh portion to it there, so it is what it is. My number four is the Great Question Block Ruins. This
Mm.
was a track that stood out to me the most when this game was first being revealed in the original Nintendo Direct trailer. Um, it just looks so cool to me. Uh, just a giant question block in the sky. It's also like these ruins, and you're jumping around. There's a lot of twists and turns. There's also like just a ton of different things you can do with like the wall riding and shortcuts in this track that I can't pull off because I'm bad at this game. But I've seen a lot of people do some really crazy maneuvers through it, and I think it's a very awesome track just for those facts.
Yeah, just being so high in the sky and having the ability to jump and kind of take your shortcuts, and the fact that if you fail, you're going down. I mean, come on. That's what like Mario Kart's all about. Like it's about trying to get to the shortcut. You might fail sometimes, but this adds to the whole fun of it.
Absolutely. Number three.
Number 3 for me, surprisingly a little low, but hey, it is what it is. Rainbow Road. I think number 3 for me, just because yes, it's Rainbow Road. It's beautiful. You can never go wrong with it. I think this is more of a celebration of like Rainbow Roads of old, and like you said, little nods to the other tracks in the game. And for that reason, I think it's worth being on a list. And growing up like N64, Mario Kart 64, playing Rainbow Road there, then getting all these other iterations to finally playing this for the first time, unlocking it in the special cup. I mean, it doesn't get better. And again, it's not as punishing as other versions of Rainbow Road, but for me, it's got to be on there.
Yeah, see, this Rainbow Road I think is a little overrated.
Really?
I get that it's a celebration of past Rainbow Roads. Like I think it's cool that it's got like all the different elements from the past ones, and like I mentioned, the train that shows like all the characters in this game and everything. Like that stuff's really cool. But the fact that it is just kind of a milk toast and kind of boring track at times, like
Milk
outside of the
toast.
visuals, I don't think it's that fun to race on. Like it's not that interesting to me. I see people talk about it like, "Oh, this is one of my favorite tracks of all time." And I'm like, I don't agree. Like the coolest thing about it is that it's celebrating them and it's got like the transition zones, but like racing on it, I don't know. I don't even know if I'd say it's in the top half of my favorite tracks in this game. I'm not a big fan of it, honestly.
It falls
Um,
under the category of like not racetrack oriented. It's more cinematic than anything. If I had to
yeah,
pick like a category to put it in, cinematic for sure, and that might be a hint for other things down the line. But I digress.
but that's the thing though. If I the last track in the game, the big like send off for Mario Kart World, I want a good racing
Mm-hmm.
track. I don't
Yeah.
want something that just looks good. Speaking of cinematic though, my number three is Boo Cinema. Like this is such a cool
So cool.
track. Going in and you jump into like a silent picture with like all the Peach like shocked faces and everything, zooming around the theater and everything. Yeah, this is a really cool track. The cinematic thing works for this track because it's not the ultimate thing that you're leading up to. Like this track, I'm okay with it. The track itself, like racing on it, it's not particularly interesting. Like there's some turns and gliding sections, but it's not really like the ultimate racing experience. This one I like because it's just a cinematic thing, where Rainbow Road is, and the expectations are different there.
Yeah, no, I agree. And for the sake of just saying it, this is my number 2. It's for those exact reasons. And whenever I look for Mario Kart courses, I look for the charm, I look for the baked in nods to other Mario IP. And my first time playing this, like, I'm normally one to never specifically remember like the names of the courses and this is the one that stuck out the most outside of my number one, obviously. But again, it's just the charm. And the only thing I wish they did instead of the Peach face, I wish they somehow, Nintendo Magic, replaced her face with the character you're playing as being in the film reels. But that's like me being really, really picky. But yeah, Boo Cinema is peak cinema in Mario Kart World for me.
If I would have had a choice for who I would rather have in there, it would have been Professor Egad. But
Oh,
I also want Professor Egad as a playable character, and he's not here, so I guess Nintendo just
yet.
hates me.
Not here yet. Let's try to manifest.
Yeah, right. My number two is a game or a track that you already mentioned, Cheap Cheap Falls, because I mean you already mentioned the great like it's essentially just like a water rapids area, just like racing down the current, going winding and twisting. I love that portion of the track. It's very just chaotic and fast moving. It's so cool. And then outside of that, just like the autumn kind of feeling around the track, it's just really cool to me. It's one of my favorite looking tracks for sure in the game. Um, I didn't really expect that because usually when you get like Cheap Cheap Beach in the past, it's like, okay, this is just a pretty boring track. But they really made Cheap Cheap Falls an interesting place to race around, and I enjoy it every time I go to it.
It's something whenever the map takes you and just says, no, you're going on this path and you're going down the rapids. It's like you can just focus on going fast. And in Mario Kart racing, that's the main goal is to go fast. So, yeah, Cheap Cheap Falls is a really welcomed addition here.
Absolutely. Number one, Kev.
Number one for me is DK Spaceport. Of course, that's a little biased with Donkey Kong here, but it's more for the ending of this whole thing where you're kind of going up the ladder there, and where it gives the nods to the old Donkey Kong games where he's throwing the barrels and you're trying to jump over them, or you're grinding on the rails to kind of avoid obstacles. It's those things where, like, in a very close race towards the end, one mistake will make or break you. And then it's like you get into the real gamer zone where you lean forward and you're like really focused on what's ahead of you. And again, just the gigantic Donkey Kong robot. I mean, come on. It doesn't get better than that.
It's a very cool just set piece in general. My number one is the Bowser's Castle here.
Mm-hmm.
Bowser's Castle in the past for me has been really hit or miss. There are times where they just absolutely nail it, and then there's times where it's just like, okay, this is forgettable. Obviously, with this being my number one track, they nailed it in Mario Kart World. I think it's just awesome to race around. Of course, you've got all the lava and brimstone that you would expect with Bowser's Castle, but the section where you like fly over the volcano as it's exploding is just so cool to me. This track really stands out to me. I love playing it. I love the like portion where you're inside and you can like jump on the wall and then jump up on the rail and grind through it. Some really cool things in this Bowser's Castle. That's about all I've got.
No, like one thing they did in Mario Kart World, even if it's an older course, they did such a good job implementing the new stuff and making it feel natural, where you could remaster old courses and just shoehorn grinding parts or whatever. They made it feel natural. They made it feel like it's just all part of the plan. And yeah, hats off to that team for making some pretty damn iconic courses.
Absolutely. But that is our top 5 lists for our favorite Mario Kart World tracks. Let us know in the comments who has the better list. There was a bit of overlap here, but obviously mine's better because I have Bowser's Castle at number 1, and he didn't even include it. Wild. Absolutely wild. Yeah. Also, let us know which ones we missed, and subscribe to Game Sandwich for our future videos. We have a lot of discussion videos like this going out all the time. Go down into the description below, and you can find a link to our community Discord channel where you can come in, talk with us, chat, tell us your favorite things, maybe even suggest a future duelist topic for us. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.
If you enjoyed today's video and want more content just like this, consider subscribing to Game Sandwich for all your news, rumors, and reviews. And we'll see you guys next time.